Hello, dear friends. Myself, Dr. Surekha Jaiswal, Head Department of Physics, Moreshwar Arts, Science and Commerce College, Bhokardan, District, Jalna. Today we will see non-conventional energy sources. Paper code number PHY 306, paper number 20. Now today's contents are twin blade horizontal wind turbine generator unit HAWT. Definition, example and advantages, merit and limitation of wind energy, and also we discuss difference between renewable and non-renewable energy sources. So this twin blade horizontal wind turbine generator unit HAWT, before discussing this topic we discuss about the wind energy. Wind power is of course of a form of solar power or solar related power, as it is sometimes called. A smooth fraction of the solar energy falling on the earth each day is converted into surface winds that are quite strong and in some areas provided a useful source of energy for performing mechanical work and generating electric power. The winds on Earth's surface are caused primarily by the unequal heating of the land and water by the sun. The difference in temperature gradient induces the circulation of air from one zone to another. The Earth's atmosphere is a marvelous solar driven heat engine. Much like the steam turbine in a modern power plant, it converts heat energy into mechanical energy by transferring heat from a warm or hot source to a cooler sink where the heat is dissipated. The global circulation of the atmosphere occurs in five rather distinct zones: the tropical zone near the equator, the two temperature zones, and the north and south polar zones. The circulation in the temperature zones conducts an enormous amount of heat from the solar heated tropics to the radiation cool polar regions in an interesting and complicated way. Wind energy is one of America's greatest natural resource. Windmills have been used in several countries like Netherlands and Denmark, where high velocity wind is available in abundant quantity. Nearly 30,000 house mills capable of producing 100 megawatt and 3,000 industrial windmills generating another 100 megawatt were operating in Denmark at the turn of this century. In India, the interest in the windmills was shown in the last 50s and early 60s. Apart from importing a few from outside, a new design were also developed, but it was not sustained. It is only in the last 15 to 20 years that development work is going on in many institutions. An important reason for this lack of interest in wind energy must be that wind in India are relatively low and vary appreciably with the season. Data quoted by some engineer scientists that are India wind speed value lies between 5 km per hour to 15 to 20 km per hour. These low and seasonable winds imply a high cost of exploitation of wind energy. Calculation based on the performance of a typical windmill have indicated that a unit of energy derived from a windmill be at least several times more expensive than energy derivable from electric distribution lines at the standard rates, provided such electrical energy is at all available at the windmill site. Now see twin blade horizontal wind turbine generator unit HAWT. Such units are built in large unit size of unit rating such as 1 megawatt, 2 megawatt and 3 megawatt. Such high capacity units are installed singly and feed power into the distribution network. Some of the largest wind turbine generator units are twin blade horizontal axis wind turbine. Cost of a two blade turbine is lesser than that of an equivalent three blade turbine. Figure shows here twin blade horizontal wind turbine generator unit. Now that unit contain hub seen figure first, that is a shown in figure, that is hub, blades, nacelle, tower, power cable and control cables. These are the unit of twin blade horizontal axis propeller type wind turbine generator. Weight of two blade rotor is lesser than that of an equivalent of three blade turbine. Two blade turbine needs tethering control. The reason for this is as follows. The wind speed increases with the height. When rotor is vertical, the blade in upper position experience a greater force than the blade in lower position. A pivot within the hub allows the rotor to lean backwards to accommodate the extra force. Without such tethering arrangement, additional fatigue on the main shaft cloud seriously affect the life of a two-blade wind turbine. Now see merits and limitation of wind energy. Merits of wind energy. First merit, that is important renewable energy available free of cost. Second advantage, that is clean and pollution free. Advantage number 3, it is available in many offshore, on shore, remote areas. And earth receives vast wind energy. Cost effective and reliable wind power generators are being developed. Next advantage, is that it will help in supplying electric power to remote areas. Also, it will help in energy conservation of non renewable sources. Also, low operating cost, economically competitive, ideal choice for rural and remote areas and areas which lack other energy sources. Wind energy can be used for obtaining mechanical energy for grinding, pumping, etc., resulting in energy conservation. Limitation of wind energy, it has low energy density. Favorable winds are available only in a few geographical locations away from cities, forests. Second limitation, winds are variable, unsteady, irregular, intermittent, erratic, sometimes dangerous, erratic. Direction of wind changes and is never constant or regular. Wind turbine design, manufacture, installation have proved to be most complex due to several variable and extreme stress. Small units are more reliable but have higher capital cost per kilowatt. Large units require high tech and have less capital cost per kilowatt, requires energy storage batteries and or standby diesel generator for supply of continuous power to load. Another limitation, that is solar energy can be directly converted into heat electricity. Wind energy can be converted into mechanical energy then to electrical energy. Wind farms can be located only in vast open areas in location of favorable wind. Such locations are generally away from load centers. Wind farms require flat vacant land free from forest. Presently, high cost per megawatt hour. In future, the cost is likely to compete with fossil fuel plants in certain areas. Only in kilowatt and a few megawatt range does not meet the energy needs of large cities and industries. Now, in this chapter, non-conventional energy sources, we discuss about the topic, that is windmill energy, tidal energy, ocean energy, biomass energy, and solar energy, etc. In short, we discuss about the biomass energy. Lastly, the energy obtained from biomass is known as biomass energy. Animal feeds on plants and plants grow through the photosynthesis process using solar energy. Thus, the photosynthesis process is primarily responsible for generation of biomass energy. A small portion of the solar radiation is captured and stored in plants during the photosynthesis process. Therefore, it is an indirect form of solar energy. Also, we know the average efficiency of photosynthesis conversion of solar energy into biomass energy is estimated to be 0.5 to 1.0%. To use biomass energy, the initial biomass may be transformed by chemical or biological process to produce more conventional intermediate biofuels such as methane, producer gas, ethanol, and charcoal. Also, we know the advantages of biomass energy are it is a renewable source. The energy storage is an inbuilt feature of it. It is an indigenous source requiring little or no foreign exchange. The factory and agriculture industries that supply feedstock also provide substantial economic development opportunity in rural areas. Another advantage of biomass energy are the pollutant emissions from combustion of biomass are usually lower than those from fossil fuel. Commercial use of biomass may avoid or reduce the problem of waste disposal in other industries, particularly municipal solid waste in urban city centers. Use of biogas plant apart from supplying clean gas also lead to improved sanitation, better hygiene conditions in rural areas as the harmful decaying biomass gets stabilized. The nitrogen-rich biodigested slurry and slurry from a biogas plant serve as a very good soil conditioner and improves the fertility of the soil. This is main advantage of biomass energy. Varying capacity can be installed, any capacity can be operated even at lower loads with no seasonality involved. The main disadvantages are it is a dispersed and land intensive source. It is often of very low energy density. It is also labor intensive and the cost of collecting large quantities for commercial application is significant. Now see also in briefly the difference between renewable resource and non-renewable resource. We know already about the renewable resource and non-renewable resource. So, what is renewable resource? A resource which can be replenished or reused. It is means it will never run out. Non-renewable resource. This type of resource cannot be replenished. Now, examples are renewable resource are water crop, geothermal, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, etc. Example of non-renewable resource are coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. Also, we know the renewable resource having operating cost is low. In case of non-renewable resource, they are cheap and easy to use. Another differentiate point of renewable resource is that is clean, no harm for the environment. Also, this non-renewable resource known for their efficiency. Sun, wind, ocean energy, etc. are available in abundant quantity and are free to use. Non-renewable sources are these sources have low carbon emission and therefore are considered to be more environmental friendly. In case of non-renewable resource, ability to produce a lot of energy in short period of time. Also, non-renewable resources are little or no competition. So that is about the, in short, renewable resource and non-renewable resource. Thank you.